Hello everyone! Welcome to the Nordic RT support with me, RuneNorse, bringing you yet another Supreme Command the Forge Alliance Forever cast, and boy, I gotta say, I just felt that we had to get this match going. I just had to get this out, and I thought, why not do it during the high season when it's about to get into New Year? And I thought, why not invite the New Year with a blast? And as you might see, I am in this one, so do forgive me. This will be quite a bit weird, I suppose, but I just wanted to make something very silly as, you know, things are going. So, it's actually a 4v4 map called Darkfall 4v4, and we're gonna call this Team 1 down here and Team 2 up here without going to any sort of trouble here. We're gonna mind just a little bit so I have time to introduce the teams. Now then, for the back player that I would assume be the air player, we have Ikonnonix. He's going Seraphim in Poopy Brown, and he's going First Land. We have on the, let's go over here. We have, at one of the front players for Team 1, we have McNeil going UEF in a quite lovely dark or regal blue, I would say that is. And then we have frontkoller going Seraphim First Land in a nice yellow. And lastly, for Team 1, we have Mortal 3000 going Aeon in a nice, I would say that would be Scorpion Green. I'm using the Warhammer color scheme here, so yeah, forgive me for that. Now then, for Team 2, we have Luminareo. He is going, or he or she, whatever. That person, that Cybran player is going Cybran First Land in a nice tentacle pink. And over here we have Balthazar 10 going UEF in a nice blood red. Down at the front line we have G-Ass Washington, or G-Man like Ass Washington, Gas Washington, I'm not sure, I'm just gonna say G-Ass Washington. He's going Aeon First Land in a nice Hawk Turkey, I would say ice blue. And lastly we have me, RuneNorse, going Seraphim First Land in a nice scab red on the back part here, going Second Land. Now then, we're gonna have things back to +0, and it's gonna be quite an interesting match, as you might then see from the YouTube thing. It's about 12-13 minutes long, depending on, you know, my editing skills and what I edit in or like put out, depending on stuff and what I might talk about later. But so far we see actually from the chat that we see that, what would you call it? G-Ass Washington is actually going to try to push and actually do a lot of damage here. From what we can see, he's going to capture the factory to McNeil from the looks of it. So this could be really interesting. So he's asking for any spare energy. At this point, I was standing over here, not really focusing too much on what was going over here. I did hear him after a while though, so I managed to give him some of my energy, because I had spare energy at one point after I finished my hydrocarbon power plant. But other than that, we see now that for McNeil, he suddenly noticed that the command is suddenly right at his doorsteps, and that must probably have been a bit surprising for him to just suddenly see G-Ass Washington coming in there to try to steal that land factory from G-Ass Washington. And now that we see the other teams are scrambling their commanders to go forward in a push from the looks of it. Ikonnonix is, even the airplay is sending over his own commander, and the same goes for frontkoller. He's moving over to G-Ass Washington's primary base, but he's almost finished the capturing of the factory over here, but taking quite a lot of damage in the process. I'm not sure he will survive this though, but it will be interesting to see what the result of this can actually turn out to be, because now the land factory to McNeil has been taken over by Ash Washington, and so far it's get rather hairy as both commanders now to Ikonnonix and McNeil are firing on G-Ass Washington, and I don't think he will be able to get away here, as they take quite a lot of fire here. And now the commander to Mortal 3000 and frontkoller is moving up to the northern side here, and now G-Ass Washington have been donating the engineers to me, well, RuneNorse, and I'm building a factory at the current moment because he told me to build like a factory and take over his base. So I was a bit happy that I could get like Aeon units, and then I can mix it in with Seraphim units. As we see at the already 3 minutes and 18 seconds, G-Ass Washington has been defeated after a, I would say, rather failed push, but it was very, very amusing, I do have to say. And now we see, though, that frontkoller is moving in, but all of this part of the base just explode, and this land factory is now very, very dangerously put here, as 2 commanders are moving in, and that factory won't really survive now, will it? So let's see, that was a bit of a oops, as I forgot that these engineers didn't really, well, he just gave them to me, but I managed to, well, I was trying to get an engineer out of this factory here, but now we see Balthasar 10 is actually moving in with his own commander, but oh, that's a bit of a lag at the moment. And Balthasar calls out GG as all of the commanders besides McNeil seems to be moving forward. But now, actually, we see that Luminareo is actually moving down with his own commander. And this could be quite the spectacle indeed, as almost all the commanders besides my commander are focusing on getting to the middle to do a dance of death here. And now this is GS Washington says that we're going to lose no matter what against 4 comms. And I am actually agreeing with him here. So far it looks very grim here, but it's quite interesting as frontkoller and Balthasar has taken quite a lot of hits here, but a nice overcharge into Balthasar seems to be doing some damage here, but also friendly fire from Ikonnonix down to frontkoller. But now we see, though, that there's going to be some quite interesting explosions. But now Zuis from my own land factories are starting to spam out to try to help my own team survive this, because Balthasar is going to go down now, going well into the red, and boom! 2 commanders taken out in one go in 4 minutes and 56 seconds as frontkoller. And let's see who else is defeated. Frontkoller, Balthasar X, and GS Washington has been taken out during the first 5 minutes. And it looks like there's going to be more players being taken out here. And this can be very interesting indeed, as both players are going well into the red here, and boom! Yet again, 3 more commanders taken out in just one go, and the only players left are McNeil and me, RuneNorse. And I gotta say, this has been quite a blast, wouldn't you agree? That is just a bit of a nice explosion, as everything just gets completely eradicated, that all the bases everywhere just explodes besides my base and McNeil. And so far, I gotta say, the comment section is really funny now, for, well, the chat section. And so far now, the base of my own building is not exactly the strongest one. I was now trying to focus more on spreading out, and I've been planning a lot of land factors here to start the spam of Zuis and Auroras. And these Auroras, I love them. I love the range for them, because then I could try to keep the strikers at bay. But we'll have to see, though, how this goes with McNeil and his UEF forces against my paper-thin Zuis and Auroras. And if he can do the micromanagement okay, he should be okay when it comes to, like, my own forces against his, though. But we will have to see, though, if he spreads out with his engineers and try to take more of the mass points here, and perhaps even try to get a, let's say, what do you call it, air transport online, it could be good. But so far on the reclaim game, I have reclaimed about 2033 mass and about that area, while McNeil has only reclaimed about 756 mass. So far I had quite a good range of scouting, so I could see his whole base, while McNeil just managed to get his radar online, so he can now finally get to see what was coming his way, and he's starting to plan on what to do. He's trying to get some interceptors online, and now we see GS Washington actually started to talk to me of trying to get me to get a gun upgrade on my commander. But so far, the eco-wise, I'm going well into the red with the mass here, but still going strong with the energy. And McNeil, on the other hand, is doing quite well, but it's having some power issues and might want to try to solve that before it's too late. As we see here, though, he managed to get some interceptors online, and I have 2 bombers standing at the ready with 5 interceptors here just in case. And I got a lot of Zuis moving on the left flank here, as more units coming in there as reinforcements progress. And now we see also I put in my 2 attack bombers with some interceptors now going to assist some of these scouts here, because I constantly wanted to have a field of view of the enemy base. And now we see all of these Zuis are coming in, doing quite a lot of damage here against all of these units here, a little bit damage here and there, and sending some of the shots against the mass extractors. And he got a Tech 2 mass extractor here, and I think at this point I noticed that, and I started to attack with my mass, with my Zeus. And GS Washington said use arty to kill power, and I agree to a certain extent, but at the same time I noticed that if I could just keep him away from all this reclaim, I could then go after the mass extractors and deny him a good steady stream of mass. And so that was good because he was constantly building energy back here. So I took out the Tech 2 mass extractor there, and I got constant reinforcements here. I could use my engineer to reclaim over here. So I got a nice steady stream of mass in there. I'm not a top ranking player, I'm not very good, but I would say a fair, at least okay so far. But we see that McNeil is hard pressed here as he's trying to get his base back up, but the constant stream of units from my base and reinforcement from there constantly put pressure on him, and I think this will be the end of that air factory as well. So that will be the end of air reinforcements if that last artillery shell lands, and boom, the air factory has been taken out as McNeil is trying to protect his base. But I managed to get units to the back here, and actually now going to go for the radar and denying him radar coverage, so he won't be able to see what is coming his way. And his command is constantly in the yellow, while my command is still in the back. And now, just as I say it, the gun upgrade on my command has been finished, and I started to focus on building energy storages over here as I'm trying to get the handle on just completely destroying his base. And I gotta say, this is one of my better games where I actually felt that I have done okay at least, but we will have to see the end of the match here, because I gotta say, this map was just so fun to play, how to just expect certain things. And all of these explosions, I mean, look at all of these craters in the middle there, all the commanders just blowing up here, and GS Washington down over here. But now I see all of these bombers and of these interceptors are constantly harassing the units to McNeil, and so far he's trying to get a lot of stuff online, but I'm constantly sending units all over the place. But he's managed to get another radar online, but my bombers went after the radar and took out that radar, and he only has a snoop to aid him in the radar detection, and he's sending out his own armored command unit over here as well. But he probably needs to get his armored command unit back here. As we can see now, he's falling back with his commander because this assault has been successfully thwarted. But he only has 2 strikers over here, badly damaged, and one of them goes down now as he's trying to survive this. But he's taking so much damage that I have very small chances of seeing how he can be able to survive this. But fantastically played from McNeil, not giving up, constantly trying to play it out, see how it goes, see if we can get a you get the upper hand. But I gotta agree with what McNeil says here now. It was quite an interesting match. It was a bit unexpected, yes, I do have to say. But as I'm gonna say, it was quite a blast, if you know what I mean, of the puns of all puns. So now he probably seen that all is lost, and all of my units are now moving in with my own commander. So far it's going well into my favor, as finally I'm moving in, firing all guns at the commander. And lastly, as these go well into the red, at 11 minutes and 11 seconds, I say boom! And finally, the match ends after a surprising turn of event, as all of the commanders of both sides of the team just blew up in the middle, and it was turning into a 1v1, and at the last part, there is a desync, but that does not matter at all. And I just wanted to make something really fun, something quick, something easy, so that I can quickly upload it for New Year's Eve. And so far it's been fantastic. I gotta say, guys, this has been a fantastic year for me. I thank you so much. From the start when I made the Nordic Archer support to this point here, I would never have imagined I would almost, we're almost at 200 subscribers already. That is fantastic, of just amazing space balls. And I gotta say, I gotta thank all of you guys that you actually enjoy my videos, that you give me constructive feedback. And at one last thing here now, I'm going to say I can recommend you to check out my friend Roke's YouTube channel called Warm Banana Peel. I'm going to put the link in the description down below. And if you want to check him out, he's very fresh into the casting game, and I will love to, and he would love to, if you check him out, look at his videos, give him constructive feedback on perhaps how to improve, but stay away from the microphone trouble. We know usually when there's a microphone trouble. I mean, when I was using my web camera, I knew there was going to be crappy audio. I mean, if you have ways of like turning down the like audio input and stuff like that, that is constructive feedback, but not, dude, get a new mic. That is not constructive feedback. That is just being, well, rude. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here now, so thank you guys for watching this. If you liked this video, press that like button, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.